People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. And with an introduction like that, what more can I say? Other than the exact same thing, people deluded, I'm back again. Make sure you're smashing the like button and all of those good things, people. Big up to you lot watching it live and watching it on a rerun, people. Let me know your thoughts. We're going to go over everything to do with Arsenal that's currently in the tabloids. Timbers close to signing a new deal. Owing to Arsenal's recent form and the good and the bad and the ugly, and take part on, big up the Twitch gang. Make sure to subscribe with Amazon Prime. But if you're on YouTube, take part in the voting. Is this a mini wobble for Arsenal, or is it a panic? Is it a media panic? Is it a fan panic? Yada, 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 yada. You get where I'm going with that. So, yeah, people, we'll get into everything. What's going on here, YouTube? Okay, everything's fine and dandy over there. Okay, change that to that. 4:30, I've got Jessica Black. She knows Arsenal. You know the drill, people. Will be speaking about Arsenal. Before we get into everything, people, what are you lot saying? Handicapper said, all right, guys, no panic required. Fluctuation is built in. I don't fancy a two-leg semi-final versus Chelsea, though. Rather bounce out. Dead. I disagree with that. What? It doesn't matter if it's the League Cup, the Premier League in the difficult home and away games, the Champions League, or the Premier League. Dead. What? Because Chelsea, we'll get into that, but Chelsea over two legs, you'd rather go out of a competition where we have an opportunity, 4 opportunities to win silverware. Of course, I want the Prem or the Champs, if not both. I think that shuts up people, at least for this season and the journey people have gone on. I don't think an FA Cup or a League Cup does much for the noise surrounding the manager and all those kind of things, but there will be a degree of disingenuousness because we know at the end of last season we didn't win anything, people, and we would have rather the Prem or the Champs, etc., etc. What was it people were saying when you're seeing what Spurs did, Newcastle, Crystal Palace, couple teams abroad? A trophy's a trophy. That's dead. These boys need to start winning silverware, need to have them days out at Wembley, need to, I can't question their hunger, but need to have that hunger. And I don't hear it, but I see the logic in. I'd rather focus on other trophies, but when we've done that, we've not got anywhere. What's going on here? Okay, so it's frozen. Okay, we're back. Dead. Not often I can make these, but I'm off work due to flu. And I will say this, man, get well soon, my guy. Seems like there's, obviously it's the time of year, innit? And I don't want to jinx it, but I've been all right, man. I've had, you know, when you ain't quite got the flu or you're feeling ill, but it's not gone to that level. I've had a couple of those and bounce back. I've been avoiding it, man, and long may it continue. Deluded, what do you like doing in the gym? Good morning, big up, man. Tyrone, big up yourself in the gym. What I hate is legs day. What I hate is abs, but it has to be done. What I hate is any sort of circuits. I wouldn't say I like the gym or don't like the gym. I do like the gym. I like the feeling of, I hate the feeling of not going. I love the feeling of going and getting over it. I love the mental boost it gives you. More like it's just you and your thoughts in it. Like I always listen to music in the gym, like all of you lot. But lately I get through a lot of podcasts. So I just listen to silence and just deal with the voice in my head. But in terms of workouts, I like doing shoulder stuff. I like tricep dips, man. So hopefully that answers your question. King, big up yourself. We're back, man. I'm good, man. I hope everyone is. It seems like StreamYard now, people. I don't know what's going on. You're going to have to bear with me, especially when I'm bringing up comments, man. You have to beat good teams to win trophies. Exactly. There's no way around it, man. I'm not on that, bro. I'm not on that. Obviously, if we got the League Cup and we rise up a Prem or a Champs, I hear that, but we ain't got that right, people. And I'd rather be in as many competitions than bow out. Now, it'll be interesting for me, you know, what we've got. Pardon me. Almost lost my trail of thought. We got Everton, we got Crystal Palace, we got Brighton. I want to say Bournemouth 3rd of January, and then you've got Liverpool. Yeah, we all know the landscape with the injuries and the player and the status of not just my team and your team, but everybody else. We know the dynamics in it, people. I do think, well, I don't even know if there'll be the players too, but if I had to take an educated guess, I would say Portsmouth in January, and obviously next Tuesday. Is it next Tuesday? It is next Tuesday against Crystal Palace in the quarterfinals. I think that's where Arteta, for want of better terms, throws it or plays a rotated side. I'm not on that. And, well, you can, in my opinion, you can never play too many good teams. And I want revenge on Chelsea, man. Again, Caicedo suspended for the first leg. Do your job in the first. I'm not on that, man. And especially because I don't fancy 2 legs against them, I'd rather bow out. You're better than that, man. I hear that. Of course, we'd rather win the Prem or the Champs, but we're in the competition. We want to go the way. We got to a semi-finals last year. Might as well get to the final as a minimum. Don't panic, Nicholas says. Again, I wouldn't say panic, regardless of how the season pans out. I do think there's evident warning signs, areas of frustration, areas of development that need to be made. I do think there's good. It's what we do beyond this. by God's grace, we go and win stuff in May. We might collapse like the seasons we've seen, but I don't think now's the time to crash out and do these things. I think you got to compartmentalize, isolate the wins, and there's things we done good and better. Isolate where we've drawn and obviously where we've dropped points. It's what we do now, isn't it? It could be better. It sure as hell could be a lot worse. I would love, I actually don't. Again, we all know you have to drop points. You can't win them all, and things go wrong and things like that. But hindsight, is the best thing. I think we should have beaten Man City at home. I think we should have walked away with a point minimum from the Liverpool game away. Aston Villa, again, we're kind of at where we're at. There was obviously things we could have done better. Like we should only have one loss minimum this season in the Premier League. But that's just not how the cookie crumbles, man. Just our Xmas blip. We're the club that likes to give. I hear it, Stuart. For me, it's what we do beyond this, man. For me, and this is just my hot take, I like what we've done. Obviously, there's been numerous areas we could have done better. We needed to do better and all of this, but we've got a good platform. This is just my hot take without any kind of substance beyond it. I want to see what my team is looking like February, March, them kind of times there. Are we still talking about we still can win a Prem and a champs? If God forbid, if there is injuries and things like that, are we able to maneuver and things of that ilk, man? So we'll have to see, man. It is what it is. Now, I totally disagree. The EPL Cup is not even close to being with risking the PL or the CL, so we have to disagree. FK me 10. I'm not here. I don't know what you're saying with that part, but we all know the Premier League champs, the bread and butter. I just don't agree with the sentence you said in that I'd rather go out than have two-legged tie against Chelsea. For me, that's nonsense, really. We want to be a team that aspires to compete for 4 trophies. We want to obviously jump in ahead. If we had our world, our good players get better, the manager gets better, Arsenal are the biggest and baddest. We want to compete in 4 trophies. And what? So then what happens if we have to play a big team in the Champions League and things like that? I'm not on that. I'm taking your words out of context. I just disagree with that statement. I'm not here for that. And to be honest, can hardly string together an 11, much less a squad. So I don't even know. Is there even capacity to be resting players and all of these things? We need to win everything. We're not going to win everything, but that should be the ambition. But I think everyone can understand, obviously, the Prems, the champs, that's your food and drink. If you could offer me right now in December, the Premier League or the Champions League, when I just look at Mikel Arteta and the players, forget the fans for a second myself, I would pick the Prem for them because I think you've been on a journey in it, and I honestly don't know where we go. God forbid if we don't win the Premier League. I think you don't need to get that monkey off your back. You don't need to get that over the line. For me personally, the champs, we've never done it. Our European record is shoddy. I want that, and if we could get both, it'd be amazing. Could you imagine if we done the double? Talk it into existence, man. Asking Arsenal fans to have composure, impossible. 1 week, we're the best thing since sliced bread. We're mashing up Bayern Munich. We're not just talking about the Prem. We're the favourites for the champs. Now it's all terrible. 1 minute Liverpool is going to win the league, and then we're not on nothing. Then we're unstoppable. Chelsea are this and that. City are out of it now. They're the front runners. It's going to keep fluctuating. We could extend our lead at the top. We could be lapped, and City could make some distance. And we've been the chasers. We've been the chasing. For me, it's just, now's the time to reflect. We've done good. It could be better. It sure as hell could be a lot worse. What do we want to do beyond this period? Again, obviously injuries and all of those things, for us fans, they're all reasons. But for Mikel Arteta and the boys, I don't want to hear it. I can't lie to you. By hook or by crook, this team, May 2026, there needs to be silverware and hopefully a parade, man. My club could never deliberately lose in a competition, especially against the Blue Scum. Get that ish out of here. Let's do them, man. In fact, make sure you lot are doing your hand hygiene consistently. Best way to stay healthy. Facts. I hear it, man. I hear it. DG, I'm feeling the pressure. How about you? I can't say I'm feeling the pressure because at the end of the day, I'm not the one playing, in it, really. And what I would say, pressure is a privilege, in it. Like, it's a privilege. It's Arsenal Football Club. Every game should be a cup final. Every game that we lose is going to be a disaster. For me, we shouldn't feel the pressure. I don't mean this in a disingenuous way, but I want us to be fearless this season. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that they could say? What they said in the last 3 years, bottlers, not one silverware, yada, yada, yada. So use that as a kind of liberating feeling. Obviously, we got into big games and, every point counts and stuff. There's an element of pressure. For me, the pressure, for me as a fan, is the end of February, March, April, definitely the whole of May. That's where we should be feeling the pressure, man. We have to count our blessings and evidently fix the areas of improvement. Innit? There's been times we've obviously won games, and there's been areas that we need to obviously address fast and quickly. Wolves being the best example, you know. And again, I want these boys to, well, the team, including the manager, to use this week to their advantage. Obviously, the week's soon done. We're playing on Saturday, but it's the first time we've not had a midweek game. I actually think it's a chance to train as well. Obviously, 1-2 players are coming back. When you're playing 3 games in 10 days and you're traveling, you're not really got time to actually train and do the tactics thing. It's more thinking about the opposition, more tactical analysis, etc. So this week, get the attacking players, get some. It's not going to change in a week, innit? But get some relationships going with the Gyökereses and whoever, you know, let's not even get to names. Whoever the hell is up front, I would actually say for the whole team, get back to basics defensively. We know there's injuries to that back line, but I don't know if it's Arteta's tactics. I think the players are deciding to drop. We're dropping back a bit. Hincapié and Timber, when they're playing centre halves 2 weeks in a row, there's been identical goals conceded. So just polish up things, man. And obviously use it to kind of mentally reset. As I said, the world could have been 10 times better. You know, in an ideal world, we hold beyond the obvious. We hold on to 50. We hold on to in the last 15 minutes, Sunderland away. You know, we get a point, if not more, against Aston Villa. We definitely beat Manchester City at the Emirates. We definitely run away with a point away at Anfield. I can't lie, 9 times out of 10, you play a 10-man side, we should be winning, in it. It weren't there against Chelsea. So, you know, kick ourselves for that not being the case, and also thank ourselves, because there's been times where the games could have went other ways. You know, it happens. There's been times we've grabbed a little 1-0 and just kept it moving, man. Winning breeds winners. And everything at this football club has been geared towards winning, but actually winning now. So that's the realm we got to go into, man. Let's talk about what do you think how this Arsenal team will react to a draw or an L versus Everton. City may be top by the weekend. The possibility exists because Wolves' last minute shows cracks. All they can do is focus on themselves. I'll be real with you. Of course, it doesn't. Us as fans and the players, they obviously know winning, losing, and drawing the ramifications this week, but it's going to fluctuate. We've seen that this season. We've seen it this year. At one point, Liverpool were running away with the league. Where is it now? At one point, we had the healthy gap. It's been cut. We just have to do our jobs. And again, it's not to say that I won't be vexed, but now's not the time to be doing mental calculations. Like, we just need to pick up points. Like, whatever people say, yeah, no one can tell me it's not been perfect. And considering, you know, none of us have felt our team is at our scintillating best. So the players are to address that. I say it in August. All I care about from August is making it to December. Still hoping, it's feeling realistic that we can achieve what we want to achieve. We've got that now. The next task is just get to the end of January. That's it, from now to the end of January, and then speak about that. You know, again, and I would really question mark my team if their emotions are dictated by what other teams are doing. Like, we just have to focus on ourselves. Even that, if we win the next couple and City lose the next couple, of course, that's what we want. But don't get excited, man. As long as it's mathematically possible, boy, it's dark. So, yeah, man. Everton away is a big test. If we get our mojo back there, well, then we should kick on. I want my 3 points, man. But I do think it's important that as well as the 3 points, you need a performance. Like, I don't know if this will make sense here, but if we had the performance, because we got the result, the 3 points, if we had the performance that we wanted against Wolves, we're hitting them for 3-4, and then you fast forward to this week, Everton, it's not the best of performances. You know, we might have, even the same thing might happen. We might have conceded in minute 90, but then you won. I think more fans would be sympathetic to that. And also for me, I don't think we've been that good away from home. I think at the Emirates we've been good. And you know what? During the Emirates era, there was times where a lot of away games were write-offs. I would say in the last 2-3 years, give or take, we've been doing all right away from home. There was even, I'm sure even the season before last year was actually better away from home. I think away from home, I haven't been happy, man. Like, I haven't. And, you know, there's still some big tests. You still got to go to the Etihad. You know, you still got to go Leeds away. Big us up for Newcastle away. You know, fair enough, you didn't lose against Chelsea, but it's 3 years in a row. I think I'm saying the kind of similar thing. So I need to see my away form go up. And I know it's not Goodison Park, but Goodison Park, Everton away, it's not one of them games to mess about. Even Aston Villa, man, really. I know our players were tired and things, but when I consider it, but disregard it, there was more to give in that 90 minutes. And actually for the gaffer, man, it's going to sound dumb, but that game was just a typical kind of end-to-end. One of them games you would show a foreign player if they're signing for the Premier, if they're signing to join a team in the Premier League, innit? Although you could use Man United, Bournemouth, 4-4, wherever it was, Fulham versus City. There's been quite the games, innit? So yeah, man, we have to go to these places and do things, man. It is a big weekend, but every week is gonna be a big weekend when we talk about the margins are small and we want to do this and that and the third. So yeah, man. I think if these boys win a Prem, they'll eventually win a Champs too. Saying to deliberately lose a competition is small squad mentality. Go for everything, regardless of who we play. Arteta's a good manager, but he's too scared, and that shows in the players. Some of the players mentally feel like they play for a mid-table club. I can't agree with that, but I hear it. They will say it's delusional, but I want the sextuple. If we can win one, win them all. Wolves is a case of Arsenal looking past the opponent. They can't do that anymore. Saka will go crazy this weekend. I expect a big performance from him, the way the players and the media talking about him. I hope the same for Gyökeres. I hear it. We did very well at St. James's Park, but then again, St. James's Park. And do you know what? First game of the season, but Old Trafford isn't a good ground for us to go to. We have won the league there. United fans don't get too excited, but Newcastle away. Newcastle away. Newcastle away. I'm forgetting what I'm saying now. Newcastle away. Who else did we win away from home? Newcastle away. There's definitely another example. Old Trafford, as I was saying, cool. You did that. Weren't happy Chelsea away. Weren't happy Liverpool away. Weren't good enough Sunderland away. Weren't good enough Aston Villa away. Weren't good enough Chelsea away. And you can sit there and tell me these teams were in form, which is great stuff. And those are factors. But then what does that mean? What does that mean? 15 minutes away, best defensive team in the league and in Europe, 15 minutes away from getting 3 points where you haven't been good at Sunderland. And I know them players will be kicking themselves. So learn these lessons. Learn all the examples I've said. There's plenty of lessons for us to learn in that victory against Wolves. There's plenty of things we've been talking about week in, week out, and attempt to fix it. We did very well at St. James's Park. Newcastle away, still the game of the season for me. Like, I've been most happiest with my players, and I did feel it's a weird one, innit? Because we started the season talking about handbrake and all of this kind of stuff. I did feel from Newcastle away up until that Sunderland game, the handbrake went down. Arteta's making the right decision in terms of the starting 11, subbing people when you need to be subbed, game management, I guess. The players are playing with a bit more freedom. We're still defending and shutting up shop. Of course, there's been injuries and stuff, but then you move past the Sunderland fixture and you look at the cluster of games. So what, Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea, like this kind of run that, you know, let's say it ends, that run past the Sunderland until Wolves in it. Let's say that. We've been maneuvering. It's not been perfect. We've taken 1-2 L's. We're probably owed that, man. You're not going to win them all. Like, and it's not a cop-out because, again, we need to chase the illusion of perfection in it. But what I mean by corrections is at the start of the season, Liverpool were moving jammy. People saying it's the mark of champions. You got a correction there. Bournemouth are still doing well, but they were winning every game. Took a bit of a wobble there. There's therefore another team, Sunderland, to a slight example. Us, we're barely conceding. We're not conceding goals, let alone shots on target. There was going to be these kind of things, man. But yeah, we did. Everybody, I'm reading two things. Everyone is entitled to an opinion. What I don't get is why some people keep saying the same thing over and over again. If you're out, but accept he's here till May, stand on your opinion and let's move on. You know what? I've got to the point where you're right. You're not wrong, Gooner channel, but I'm at the point where you're right. Everyone can voice their opinions. If I keep seeing the same people saying the same things or watching the same content or on the same, I don't know, websites and whatever, and seeing the same things, I am the problem now because I know you're being disingenuous in it. Like, there's plenty of people that are Mikel Arteta in, but yo, if you don't win something, we might have to review what's going on. I actually think that's a fair statement. There's people like, Arteta out, but if you win a trophy, you've proven me wrong. We need to trust our team and trust what we're doing, but don't get it twisted. I'm not with this blind shit. Trust, but audit. So when we win, what could we do better? What were you lot effing fantastic at? When we lose, okay, what was the performance saying? Audit week in, week out. Because at some point, the performances and the results have to correlate. We've seen it. Sometimes we've seen slightly even Wolves. I know they're 20th, but slightly there's been some games they've been unlucky in. Don't get it twisted. We should have beat them up. We're first, they're 20th. We should have beat them up. We should have moved to them. Even though I told you, lot, it's not going to be that kind of thing. But you get where I'm going in it. But moral of the story, there's just people like football's an emotional game, and I will never forget the fallout by the media, let alone Arsenal fans in the civil war, the North London derby in Singapore. So when I see that crash out in pre-season, crash out with Noni signing before Eze and Gyökeres, it's not that I can't blame or can't ask questions. I'm just not surprised that when we win against Bayern Munich, we're the favourites for the champs. No one can talk to us. We're the biggest and baddest. We now drop points. We're rubbish and whatnot. Football's an emotional game, and I guess ignorance is bliss. No Indai, no Gay, no Drewsbury Hall. Grealish is a doubt. We can't be dropping points to them. They don't know one who can hurt us. I mean, they're a Premier League side. You can't sleep on teams, man. And I know it's not the best of examples, but over the last 3 years, maybe even 4, if you want to force it and include this season, yeah, we beat Bayern Munich. You look in the last 4 games, yeah, 4 seasons, apologies. Some of the more standout results, like when we beat City, when we've done the 2 things against Real Madrid, plenty of others, has those, and many more. They haven't necessarily been achieved with the strongest squad on strongest 11 on paper. So you can't sleep on anyone. But at the end of the day, you are right. They're missing key players. We need to, we owe it to ourselves, everybody. We're not the fans because we're not playing, but the manager, the players, they owe it to themselves to be up for Everton because Wolves weren't enough. We all know how the table can be topsy-turvy. We need to build momentum. As you said, they've got weaknesses. We need to go out there and get those 3 points. Big up, DG. Do you find it worrying that we still struggle with low blocks after years of seeing it? Seems mad stubborn that we try nothing different, whether it's tactics or personnel. Yeah, because I still expect to struggle against low blocks because even, I don't know how you fix it, but even if it was fixed, there'd be issues. But it don't really, I know we've won games against them, but it don't really feel like we've got a consistent plan. And I feel that was something that we just needed last season as a case study. I'm staying positive. If there's nothing I can do to change things, love to all the Arsenal fans, top, mid, and bottom. Our BS terms, we're all Arsenal. It's true, man. It's true. We still got tough away games this season. Man City away, Tottenham away, if I'm not mistaken. And you've got teams like Everton that will be tough regardless of team quality. Got to be better away. You know what? And one thing, when it's all said and done, we have got some difficult away tests out the way, but we do have some others. And you got to throw in teams like Leeds. Ellen Road away is not easy. And you know what? I would have to go and look here. We got Selhurst Park last day of the season. You don't know what we'll be fighting for when these games come around. You don't know what them man will be fighting for because you don't want to play teams that on paper it's a write-off, but they're fighting for their lives. New manager bounce. So let's Fulham away, throw that in there. Fulham away, we got that out the way as well. So yeah, man. Only won twice in many years at Old Trafford. It's dark. Yeah, man. But it doesn't matter. Like set pieces, we need to. Well, we ain't scored from a set piece in our. Well, I know against Wolves, but we ain't scored from a set piece in a hot minute. But there are ways to win. If we can score from open play, great. If we can score from set pieces, Rashid, great. Obviously, we want to see more scintillating and attacking football. And I know you're not saying this year, but it does pee me off when not just Arsenal, other people say, "Oh, set piece." So what am I meant to do? If you could create a goal scoring action from a throw in, from a free kick, from a corner, open play, Bob's your uncle. It don't really matter. Just put the ball in the back of the net and we won. Because what if we created a million open play chances? We don't put the ball in the back of the net and you lose or draw at Newcastle or Old Trafford. But Deluded, a simple question, DG. Do you want Victor to be a success? Really? Charles, I should have dignified that with an answer. I want everyone to be a success at Arsenal and play the role, not just a role. Havertz and Jesus profiles are from a bygone trophyless era and scared no one need Victor. I mean, why wouldn't I? Respectfully, I feel a bit insulted because why wouldn't I not want Victor Gyökeres to bang? I want everybody to do well. My thing is, I don't really care about players' personal situations at this football club. I've came into this season. You're all tools. The collectives comes first. The 3 points come first. As I said, audit. When we win, and I think it was shaky, I'll say. If we lose and I think we played better, I'll obviously say. But at the end of the day, I know how harsh it is in May. It's going to say wins, losses, draws. It doesn't care. Oh, you lost there, but you played better than when you won, etc. So you need to get 3 points. Gyökeres needs to make himself the guy. I've got, to a degree, I've got no sympathy for both anybody at Arsenal and Victor Gyökeres, because as much as clearly we need to create more, there's a defensive, there's a tax for all our attackers. Clearly Arteta isn't, since we've got better and better and started fighting for stuff, we've become more defense centric. We're not really the best team offensively. We've shown it in little patches of play. I know we score a bunch of goals. We're typically the best top goal scorers or one of them, and we scored more goals than the Invincibles. But if we cut the crap, everybody knows we're not playing to our potential. Forget this season, discard that. That was said this year. As much as people excited about Gyökeres and Eze and this one and that one, it's not like you saw like a canvas sheet. In that, I saw it with Mikel Arteta, actually, when we improved defensively, playing out from the back. You could see what Donny was trying to do. The players just weren't good enough. So I did think that scenario was as white and black as you get better defenders, we're cooking. It was never as easy as you just slot in a better player here, a better left winger, a better right winger, a striker, whatever have you, and we're there, because Arteta hasn't shown us that. It's square pegs and round holes. As I was saying, I ain't got no sympathy for Gyökeres and Arteta. I can cut Gyökeres bare sympathies. We're not creating bit of an attacking tack. think you're getting scapegoated, think you're just a collective tool rather than being allowed to shine like an individual. You're occupying centre halves, you're bringing other man into play, which all of these strikers do. But end of the day, you knew what a striker, Arteta's clearly told you what a striker has to do at this football club. If you did your homework with your agent, you know the low blocks and how a striker somewhat thrives or doesn't thrive in this system. And for Mikel Arteta, I don't care if he's your first choice or not. Ramsdale wasn't your first choice in goal. You made it happen. Ben White was not your first choice right back. You made it happen. And there's been plenty of others. And people want to say, oh, it was a Berta signing. So it's fucking mascara then. It's a collective. Everybody signed off on it. At some point, Arteta went, yo, Gyökeres has some qualities I can deal with. So I don't care how horrible his first touch is. I don't care about none of that. Make it happen. Nobody can tell me on this earth, yeah, if Gyökeres weren't playing for a couple of other teams in the Prem, forget Man City and all of that. Crystal Palace, if Mateta didn't exist, you wouldn't see a bit more of a goal scorer and stuff. You've got a limited player with limitations, so put him in places where he can thrive. I know he's bagged free kicks and all of this stuff for Sporting. Statistically, fucking majority of his goals come in the box. He's redundant to a degree, like obviously Haaland's better. But if you don't have him in goal-scoring opportunities and you cut the supply line, it's dead. Bit like Haaland. You cannot stop Haaland. He will still score. But what you can do is kill the supply line and bleed him out. And for Gyökeres, obviously, you're not better than Haaland. But you're kind of the Haalandy, the Mateta, the Chris Wood. You're not the false nine, the most aesthetically pleasing. Them man have found a way to thrive. Make it work. And until Gyökeres does that, whether it's Mikel Arteta, whether it's whatever, we're going to get onto Gyökeres. And I've done a video about this. I'm getting quite bored of talking about just Gyökeres because I do think, man, just making out he's the only guy that's not really hitting the firing lines and doing his thing for Arsenal. And he's the only, like, you would have thought he's the only attacking player that stunk up the gaff against Wolves or player full stop. You got to make it happen. And until you do that, you're just part of a tool. Obviously, people need to get rested. But if your name is not David Raya by default, if your name is not Jurien Timber, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, maybe 1-2 others, yeah, you're interchangeable. Those are players that kind of obviously man need to get rested, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to be there. All the others are interchangeable. The only so you lot are the guys. Then you've got people that have made themselves important. Calafiori taking his chance at left back. Paul Miles Lewis Skelly cannot get a look in. Trossard, that should be your left wing. You have taken, you lot all know I wanted the left winger. You have taken that opportunity. Until Gyökeres can do that, then you, Marino, Kai Havertz, Jesus, you're just tools that we can navigate a footballing calendar with until different. Me as a fan, that concerns me because if I'm talking about Gyökeres working hard and pressing and occupying centre backs, it's not that I can't see that. It's not that I don't praise you for that, but all the others could do that. And for Victor Gyökeres, they might be prettier than you. They might general play better than you. What you can do is what you've shown that them man can't put the ball in the back of the net. And for you, Gyökeres, you do look like a shadow of your former self. Your confidence looks a bit shot. You kind of have to restart because your injury came at a terrible time because, you know, you was finding your feet and stuff. I've seen you react to adversity just by doing a Google search. You wasn't rated at Brighton. You wasn't rated in your homeland. You know, people were saying, oh, can he do it in the Championship? Can a Championship player do it in Portugal? Now you've obviously got can you do it from Portugal in the Prem? I believe in you. And regardless of whatever, he will always have a fan in me because you did everything to fucking sign for this football club. But at the end of the day, Gyökeres, not that you're listening to me. If you think you can or can't do it, you're right. And I think a lot of people are disingenuous, but I tried to live my life on until you prove them right, until you prove them wrong, they're right. What are you going to do with it? I think you can be a bit more nastier. I think you can be a bit more demanding. That's it, isn't it? Like, speaking about Gyökeres, he's John. So, of course, I want him to be successful, but you've not signed yourself. And obviously, Mikel Arteta is going to have to arrest himself as well. I don't even think the system needs to be changed. It just needs to be tweaked. I think Gyökeres has adapted. I think the team needs to be a bit more of a creative team. That team needs to create chances in abundance, not just for Gyökeres, for everyone. It's not just one man's job to create for a striker. Creativity, maybe because I'm a spoiled 30-year-old Arsenal fan, Invincibles, they were more physical, but they played some fucking great football. Obviously, we've moved to the Emirates. We've not really been on nothing compared to what we should have been doing at the Emirates. We played some great football where creativity is everywhere. If we're relying on one man to create, we're in issues. If we're relying on one man to create for whoever's up front, we're in issues. Of course, naturally, whoever's in that Odegaard role, you kind of are the chief for creating, but it needs to come from everywhere. I want Raya to be able to lump it long. I've seen City do that. And for Mikel Arteta, I understand you want your own stuff here, but you as a manager, you're going to have to develop in the next way. Pep Guardiola's been there, done it, wore the T-shirt. We all know Haaland on paper isn't the prototype ideal striker for Pep. he found a way to fight his own philosophy to get better. Ryan Cherky. I mentioned Ryan Cherky because a lot of people, because you don't know, I wanted him at Arsenal. Oh, he's not a Mikel Arteta player. Not even saying you're wrong. Pep's found a way. Pep that wants his wingers in certain positions and all of these things, he's found a way. So that's what you need to learn as a manager as well, and add into your game, really. Because if we want to be different, we need it. That was my thing around Gyökeres. He's a different kind of guy, isn't it, really? It's not what we would have saw on paper. So I thought that might have forced Mikel Arteta to change things. He's going to live or die by his decisions. How you get Eze and Odegaard both working in the team, or which one doesn't play, what you do up front, you know, how our base level of performance when our key players are not there. For Arsenal Football Club, I know injuries can happen and there might be a element of unfortunate, but we've brought in more players, which thanks the Lord, but we've still got the same amount of injuries, or better yet, it's a new season, same old kind of injury. So I don't know if that's with you, manager, the medical department, the players individually. Something is above my pay grade, but me as an honest fan, something needs to be arrested there. Something needs to be looked at there, man. So there's a lot that we can do, man. Yeah, you can. I don't blindly trust everything, man. I think my players up for it. I think the gaffer's up for it. There will be not even uncomfortable. There will be conversations to be had in May if things are not won. But right now, you're allowed to believe or not believe in the guy. Like, but I don't see the need for a crash out in it. Like, it's December, bro. Like, let's just keep working in it. It could get ugly. It could get better. But yeah, man, that's my tangent. Done in it, really and truly. Tolson was right yesterday. Some Arsenal supporters make every opponent seem like it's going to be a big match. If it's Everton, we should be winning. Fear is getting to some, but I just can't get to the players. There's really no point in making overarching opinions until it looks like we aren't winning anything. Way too extreme for our fans in both directions. Facts, man. Because isn't positive and negative is not the issues. It's the without context and doing too much. And then the positive ones, they will just hide behind, oh, my days, but Villa are in great form, and Sunderland and Chelsea. What the fuck do you expect in the Premier League, bro? So if you go out the semi-finals against PSG, oh, we played a good team. What do man think this is? What do people think this is? Seriously, what do people think this is? You think everything's going to be easy? Forget it, man. DG, we've played this slow build-up play for 2 years, and it doesn't help. The first year we challenged, our weapon was fast movements. We missed Granite. I'll be real. We missed Granite in that 8. And big up Granit Xhaka. This is so nice. Big up appetizer. Big up Granit Xhaka, yeah. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I shouldn't be talking about Granit. He's a good midfielder. You're not fucking Pirlo and Xavi and them kind of man. Like, so you're right. And I do like the fact that it's systemic, that it's controlled, it's patient and whatnot. But it feels too robotic. It feels too much of a result of the training ground. It feels like our attacking play is a bit too much contingent on probabilities. Like if we make 10 chances, we might take 1 type of thing. I don't think that's how football should be played. Maybe the players got to pull their pants up a bit and be big boys and protagonists. Maybe Arteta has got to find that balance. And I wouldn't say our plays changed dramatically, but as I said earlier, from the Newcastle away game to Sunderland away, I wouldn't say the problems went, but it felt like we was in a good moment. I wasn't saying these things in it. So, and my hot take is actually as well, it's no excuse. Pardon me. Have you not know? Obviously, Arteta is a control freak anyways. And I don't mean that in a disingenuous way. Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, you've lost Gabriel Magalhaes. We all know our defense is central to everything we're doing, you know, like the position, you know, inverted fullback, what Raya does on the ball, Gabriel Magalhaes' position, Saliba on occasion. Obviously, when we cross into the other side of the field, you've got the high line with them, man. Zubomendi, like making a triangle with our centre halves, you know, indirectly turns into a back three, depending on the moment of where Timber is, inverted left backs. I think because that's gone downhill, yeah, Arteta's kind of put the handbrake up even more. And to a degree, that has gone against us. And I think that opinion of mine really, the penny kind of dropped Chelsea away, because I've said this. I think I said it yesterday, if you forget for a second what actually happened when the first ball was kicked at Chelsea, I think in hindsight, Arteta approached that in a conservative way. The way they started made him double down even more. And yeah, it is what it is, man. So yeah, we just need to keep going, man. DJ, I'm seeing James from other channels stating, who's James? And there's many James. What James from other channels? I mean, you're gonna have to take. I don't know what James you're directly referring to. Whoever this is, they've got to take it out. Stating Victor Gyökeres quality as much as you can get a 55 million player, easily forgetting he demanded and fought it. What if we landed him for 80 to 90? I don't know who said that, but come on now. Come on now. You're not getting enough out of Gyökeres for 55 million. And you lot know me, I'm not that guy that sits there and says, my man's getting paid X amount or we spend X amount. You're not just looking at Gyökeres. You're not getting the most out of it. We're not getting the players have to fix it. We're not getting the most out of half of our attackers, if not all of them. There's probably only 2 players. You know, Saka's still making the difference. We all know his is a different kind of thing. If that, most people would just agree, yo, Trossard's doing his thing. Martinelli's had his moments this season. Gyökeres has had some highs in games, but hasn't convinced. Eze's, it's been mixed, depending on the game. People, you know, he's had his moments against City and Bayern. People were onto him, actually, in the build-up to the North London derby. He dropped a hat-trick, allowed people. None of the attackers are really thriving like that. So I have to ask all of them attackers to fix up. But if the whole attacking group it has issues, then that's, for whatever reason, that has to fall at the manager's feet. Gabriel Jesus needs to start against Everton. Nelly been stinking up on the left, and we need the creative magic Jesus brings. But if Trossard is back by then, it's a sticky one. If Trossard's fit, I'm starting Trossard. A part of me honestly thinks it will be Marino Martinelli or Marino Trossard. But, you know, I'll probably change my mind in 48 hours. Raya, Timber, Calafiori, Saliba, Hincapié, Rice, Zubamendi, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard if fit. If not, I think he'll go Martinelli, but I'd actually gamble on Jesus. I don't even, I wouldn't. I don't know if Jesus is fit enough to start. I think it'd be the Palace thing. So Trossard, the 10, I'll be real, man. I've not been convinced with Eze or Odegaard per se. So a part of me wants to lean towards Odegaard. A part of me wants to lead with Eze. I'm a bit indifferent for that. I'll be absolutely honest. Eze, for now. Show me something, though. Is it time to cash in on White? DG seems to be no faith to play him in his original position, and he's getting injured every cameo he has at right back. You can't sell an injured player, can you, man? What has our Arsenal won with a false 9? Our attack is trash, and the creativity is non-existent. Haters are already saying bottling. We need creativity. Arteta, figure it out. Yeah, he can't head, but that's one thing we spoke about in the summer. For a big man, we know you can't head, man. I disagree if they're trying to find they're not passing to Gyökeres, but naturally, do they trust him? Does he trust them? This is what I'm saying. Be more demanding, man. I have to pass you. Start bullying, man. Man, I have to pass you the ball. So what man talking about? Pass me the fucking ball. And this is why I mean I like that we're nice guys and all of this, but we're not here to be nice. We're not here to make friends. We're not here for this kumbaya stuff. We're here to win shit, demand stuff, because it's all with the collective in mind. And I know strikers are weird. I'm not even saying Gyökeres will be like, he will get 20 odd goals and all those things, but strikers are weird. The minute he scored, if he scores against Everton, he probably, for example, I don't know if he'll even start. If he bags against Everton, he'll bag against Crystal Palace, and there'll be a moment he looks like a completely different player. We know strikers, man. They're probably the most temperamental of all the positions. You know, goalkeepers like to blame everyone but themselves. Strikers are a bit bipolar. Fullbacks are the most underrated and understated. You know how the game goes, man. I don't know why everybody is talking about Gyökeres and not Isak. It's crazy. So is Arsenal. Naturally, Arsenal fans are going to talk about Gyökeres. That I don't really care about Isak. But you're right, though. The media, if you look at Isak's struggles, João Pedro at the moment and Gyökeres, you would think he's alone. But this is why I say don't feed into it, man. There's plenty of big up Mac. There's plenty of big up the Twitch gang, big up Mac. Make sure you subscribe with Amazon Prime. There's plenty of people, media outlets, and places where you'll have proper conversations, like a fair trial in it. Like clearly Gyökeres ain't convinced, but fair talking points about him. Equally, there'll be hyper thoughts. This is why I think, like at this point, we have to blame ourselves. If we're consistently feeding ourselves with brain mush, it's our fault. At the start of the season, we had extremely high hopes. We were buzzing with new signings. Is it possible that we're going through a back to reality thing? Should we just sit tight? Should have always kept your feet on the ground. Should have only lived in reality while dreaming. And naturally, you're going to be buzzing. We've hit a road bump, innit? It's what these men want to do beyond this point. I think if we had already won the league, we'd be giving Gyökeres the Isak treatment and not panicking. But we're so hungry for the league, we cannot have passengers or carry anyone. He sacrificed bread for us, so I'm rooting for him. Exactly. And what didn't help Gyökeres, it's not really his fault, but we've been dying for a striker, innit? We've been dying for a striker, for that talisman. So, yeah, man. But for me, I don't want to hear it's not the striker Arteta wanted, because technically we don't know. We all know the club wanted Seska at one point, but you can change your mind. You could be looking at a man for 2 years, and what if they said, right, fuck it, we don't want Donny? And it's beyond that now, because this is what you've got now. There's other managers who step into jobs, or they're not really got a hand in who comes in, and they make it happen. We don't even know what's going on with Arne Slot at Liverpool. So yeah, man. DG, why teams who rolled over for other teams come to Arsenal and played like their ancestors are watching? Not a clue, but we should be stepping into games expecting teams to be put their best foot forward. So yeah, Gyökeres is our goal scorer. He gets almost zero service. He makes a lot of runs that get ignored, and our wingers, especially Saka and Martinelli, move the ball way too slowly. Yeah, James is a very common name. I don't know the James Donny's referring to. There's bare Jameses that make Arsenal content, and I definitely don't know what they've said. I'm so bored of the Gyökeres chat. I can't lie, man. He isn't the only person stinking up the yard. Yeah, I'm checking out the Gyökeres stuff for now, man. Whatever people have said, you got to take it up with them, bro. Like, I don't know if anyone's new here, but 9 times out of 10, I don't really give a flying monkeys what anybody has said. Like, it's can only hold myself accountable. Really, I don't really care. I believe Berta wanted Gyökeres to win now, and Arteta wanted Sesko. In my opinion, could be wrong, but just my thoughts. Probably. But you look at our system last season. Is it facilitative for a striker? Have we not said these things? And you should still be getting a tune out of stuff. I'm exaggerating. But if I want Saka and I get Lamine Yamal, if I want Lamine Yamal and I get Saka, what? You don't have to make things happen. Because then what happens when you go for one target and you have to get another one? Where are we at with this? DG, it's not just the haters saying bottle jobs, the fans are saying the same. Where do we go if it's deja vu? If it's deja vu, then we've got to have a serious conversation about the gaffer. We've got to look at why it's gone there. As much as I've got a lot of admiration for Arteta, like, until you get over the line, there is an element of feeling like you're the man before the man. Have you taken us far enough? And I could understand some fans that would want to persist even if we don't win any silverware. And I could understand fans that obviously, yeah, man, you're the man before the man now. Let's try something else. It could get better. It could get worse. Come on, man. We've got a bloody good squad now. Bloody good players. We've been sniffing at it. We're closer to achieving what we want to achieve than going the other way. It's time to get over the line, man. Like this, I don't know any other way to shape it, man. DG, if Gyökeres and Eze were playing in an Arsenal with more freedom, we would see the best of them too. These two didn't forget how to play all of a sudden. I hear that. I don't care for all the nonsense showing you are a leader. Do it behind the scenes. Scream, cuss, man, whatever. But stop this demonstration gestures on the pitch. Not helping anyone. Who's doing that on the pitch? And I hear that, yeah, but I disagree. Like, I want you to show your emotion on the pitch. I don't think any player is doing the performative thing. Like, if I'm honest with you, lead in your own way, be vocal in your own way, and I want to see that emotion, man. I don't like if it's not helping anyone, then I'm sorry, but this is grown men. Listen, big up the galley, but this is grown men football, bro. This ain't no little kid shit. Like, handle it. It's nothing personal. Like, it's all with the collective in mind. Just back the guy, man. I told man he was ish time ago, but there's no point piling on him now, praying for him. I hope it works, man. Agreed, we need to get a better tune out of all the instruments we have. Exactly. That's it. The players need to buck up. But Arteta, bro, we've been speaking about the attacking thing, so it's not just on the players. Because if Eze went somewhere else, Gyökeres went somewhere else, dare I even say, even though he's been great under Arteta, Saka went somewhere else, we might see a different light. Other managers have got more of a tune with more. So no man in this world is without thoughts. The semi-finals for the League Cup draw has been made, people. Pardon me. Simply put, should we beat Crystal Palace next week, we'll face Chelsea in the semi-finals of the League Cup early in 2026, people. You've got Newcastle City, you've got Arsenal/Crystal Palace versus Chelsea. So we'll have to see how that one rocks out. 3 February Premier League fixtures apparently have been rearranged, people. Firstly, our game at Brentford has been moved back a day to Thursday, February the 12th, and we'll have an 8 p.m. kickoff to allow it to be shown on TNT Sport. However, this match will revert back to Wednesday, February the 11th with an 8:15 p.m. kickoff should either club reach the FA Cup 4th round and be drawn against a club scheduled to play in the Champions League playoff round the following Tuesday. After that, the trip to the Bees, we're in league action when we face Tottenham Hotspur at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that game has been selected for broadcast by Sky Sports, moving to Sunday, February the 22nd at 4:30. We round off the month by hosting Chelsea in our 3rd London derby of the month. Bro, we could play Chelsea quite a few times, in it this year. Well, this season, hopefully, if we go through in the League Cup. And that fixture has also been pushed back to the following day. It will now take place on Sunday, March the 1st at 4:30. Our first league match of the month against Sunderland on February the 7th at the Emirates is unaffected by the changes and will remain on that date with a 3 p.m. kickoff as it has not been selected for live transmission. Not gonna lie, it's 2025, and big up all the fans all around the world. But I'm so jealous of you lot. Like, the very country that these balls are kicked in, we can't watch 3 p.m. kickoffs. Like, legitly crazy works. But nonetheless, that's what that. What else have we got here? Oh, that's my scouting stuff that I'm doing. I've got a video coming out for you guys, people. Don't worry. Arsenal confident of tying Timber down to a new contract after forming lethal partnership with Bukayo Saka. Anyone say no to a Timber new deal? The Gunners have opened talks with Timber early this season. They are understood to be progressing well. The Dutchman's current deal does not expire until the summer of 2028. So you don't want to get into those nasty last 18 months, people. So that's nice. We also know Wanyeri, Lewis Skelly, Saliba, Gabriel have also signed new deals. The Gunners are also in negotiations with Saka, whose current contract has just over 18 months left on it. So yeah, man, what more can I say? Get these men signed up, Timber. Quality player, man. Lowest dribbled pass percentage of fullbacks/wingbacks in the Premier League. Timber's got 9%, so he's up there with some of the best. I know we said we're gonna done off the Gyökeres chat, people, but I'll open it back up for you guys, people. Gunner Blog and The Athletic have come out with 1-2 things. Mikel Arteta had planned on starting Kai Havertz in big games against the likes of Liverpool and City, and his absence has placed a physical and psychological burden on Victor Gyökeres, 100%. Let's see what The Athletic have actually said. Arsenal finally ended their search for, we're going to skip past 1-2 things, people. We know we've got Jesus, Kai, they've had injuries. We kind of know the backdrop of the Gyökeres stuff. But whatever you say, he scored goals for Coventry. He has scored goals for Sweden. He has scored goals for Portugal. 3 very different sides. He has won a Puskas Award for goal scoring. He's got 79 goals in 83 games. We all know there was going to be a bit of an exchange rate tax from Portugal to England, but we all know Donny's a bagsman. Why are you not bagging here? Is it because of you? Is it because of the gaffer? Why is it coincidentally when we've been talking about attacking kind of problems is here? So some of it is on Gyökeres. Some of it is on the gaffer. We're trying to skip through the toss, people. What were the expectations when Gyökeres arrived? Gyökeres is an exceptional talent and has consistently demonstrated he has the qualities and winning mentality required of a top-level centre-forward, said Berto. His physicality, intelligence, and work ethic make him a perfect fit for our vision. We are confident Victor will have a major impact on the pitch and become an important figure in the dressing room. Fair enough. Expectations were high. I told you, lot, that he's going to be an ugly goal scorer, but it could be so ugly, it could be beautiful. So far, Gyökeres has not met them. I'm not going to write off a man, 4, 5, 6 months into a 4 or 5 year deal. But I can't lie. If we get to the summer, I want a next striker. I'll be real, man. I don't know who, but get a next striker. Gyökeres, you're in the mix, you're in the squad, in it. Like, it's as simple as that. It ain't really happened at this moment in time. Big up Art De Roche, my guy. There was an acceptance that Gyökeres was not a technical player whose play would connect the team. Scoring frequently was the main expectation from him. Yet the shortage of goals mean he has so far fallen short of what many hoped to see. Thought he would force the issue and be a bit more hungry and proactive, if I'm honest. But I do think some of it is just adapting to the league and speed of thought. In recent seasons, Arsenal have craved someone up front to apply finishing touches to attack. We all know he bagged against Forest, people. Wolves, he's on his J's. That you needed to have been there 20 minutes earlier, people. Not yet. He was their marquee signer. I think it was Eze. We all know not having Havertz and Jesus. There's a lot of tosh in this article. What does he offer Arsenal better yet? Noni on the right, Saka on the left. Watch Pep teams, watch Luis Enrique's PSG. So often their wingers switch sides. Fluidity is key. Hurts me to say, but I can't lie. We dropped Saka for a game or two for Noni. Saka just ain't sharing it for me. I disagree. Saka can't be dropped. I think so. He can do a bit better, but I think some of you are being a bit, not you, but being a bit disingenuous. We need him to play, man. We have great players. I get the same feeling, deja vu, especially in the last few games. I get it because there's the injuries. We're talking about handbrake up. We're, City circling. There's a lot of PTSD. There's a lot of PTSD circulating, man. We're going to have to just get on with it, man. Yeah, you're not the only one, boy. You're not the only one. We all know he's got a different style to Kai Havertz. As I said, I'm really just trying to cut through the noise, man. I think this is a lengthy article. Arsenal could look to play quicker, get the ball to him to fully benefit from Gyökeres' speed and directness. However, he also needs to understand what Arteta demands from a centre-forward. I don't think he doesn't. A significant improvement in his technical ability and link-up play is needed, as well as his positioning in attack. Positioning in attack can do better. Speed of thought can be better. Be a bit nastier. I disagree with technical ability. And I only say this because if your first touch is it's like Haaland, bro. Haaland is never going to look like Gabriel Jesus. He's never going to be skillful. If you ain't got that now, relating it back to Gyökeres, if you ain't got that at 27, you're never going to have that. Fuck it. If you don't have that at minimum 12 years of age, you're never going to have that. So I'm not sure for technical ability. Link-up play, it's more speed of thought. And for the team, sometimes he can actually make runs quicker. So I feel it's a bit hypocritical on what I'm about to say. But we could be a bit more direct as a team. And sometimes he makes that run and he's not being found. So yeah, man. There have been matches when he has been an option in behind defense. His early season goals against Leeds and Newcastle came from Arsenal breaking quickly. Exactly. And you know what the saddest thing is, yeah? And I'd have to speak to Arteta. Do you remember around the Man United game, yeah? Even Man United, there was a couple of times, probably more so at Newcastle away, when we counter-attacked very quickly. We broke on the transition very quickly. There was a period we're seeing those in games. They've kind of gone away. I don't know why, but they've gone away, people. Gyökeres and Odegaard also seem to be building chemistry before they suffered their injury. So there's a bit of rejigging there. I mean, Odegaard, you find Haaland for your country. You can find Gyökeres. You know about playing with hungry strikers. Arteta demands a lot from his centre forwards. A striker in the system needs to be more than just a goal scorer, in which clearly Arteta and Berta signed off that you could be more than a goal scorer. Whether Arteta sat there and said, Kai is my number one and Gyökeres can help me, or this is going to be my talisman guy, you know he can get goals. But we all know any striker that signs for any club, you need to be able to affect the game without scoring. So he hit some sort of metric that sanctioned it, or you lot have shown us you won't sign certain people. So it is what it is. The manager seems to insist they also hold up the ball, provide an outlet, bring others into play, and lead the press. You know what? If I had time, yeah, I'd find when Arteta actually spoke about Gyökeres when he first signed, because he was talking about during the interview, and, you know, I don't want a man that if you ain't scored in 7-8 games, you're going to drop your head and all of that kind of stuff. But he does provide an outlet, does bring others into play, does lead the press. The problem with that, Gyökeres, if that's what you're offering, then there's really nothing that separates you, Marino, Gabriel Jesus, and Kai Havertz, bar the obvious people. Gyökeres is also not the first to struggle to meet all of those requirements. I think the only thing he's not meeting is bagging goals, people. Aside from his excellent finishing, what Gyökeres primarily offered Sporting was a fearsome physicality that enabled him to overpower most defenders he faced. His time at Arsenal has been interrupted by injury, but early evidence would suggest he's not going to find Premier League backlines as easy to push around as those in Portugal. I mean, we knew that, people. I mean, I thought this article was going to be a bit more in-depth, man. What's Nicholas said? The whole summer I was thinking, if we bring in a 9, what is going to happen with Gabriel, Jesus, and Kai? Who cares, bro? Like, there are options in the squad. I have a lot of 9s. I like them. So what are we going to do? How are we going to handle it? So far, we haven't had a problem because they've been injured. So live the present, live the moment, and to deal with the situation when it comes. That was obviously Mikel Arteta. Bit disappointed in this article, really. I thought we was going to have some excitement there, people. This was in relation to injuries. I want to scroll to Arsenal. Look, which squad has been the most stable this season? So we haven't had the worst. We've got 89.9%. That's up there with City. So it could be better. It could be worse. Is there an individual Arsenal kind of sentiment here? No. And it is what it is, man. You got to be able to thrive with stability and also be able to strive with chaos, man. Like, we know what the season's about. I did see this tweet, and I'd love to know you lot's thoughts, people. Bro, boy, tell them again, bro. I don't want to hear about, like, man, are talking about improving technical ability for a 27-year-old, fam. Really? Like, that's why for me, I thought, Gyökeres is. Why do you think I've said from the summer to now, it's so ugly, it's beautiful? You're not an Arsenal striker in terms of the quality and the plucking balls out the sky. You're definitely not on Reed, Dennis Bergkamp and all of them guys. But what I did think is, bro, you give my man some food in the box, scrappy. I promise you, almost word for word. You go back and look at what I said in the summer. All the things in Gyökeres' highlights that excited me the most was the ugly goals, because that's what we're lacking. Like, that's what I want from Gyökeres. Tap-in, scruffy goals. If it comes off your bollocks, so be it. I don't care for individual brilliance. Like, of course I do, but we needed that. The hardest thing to do is put the ball in the back of the net. And I think strikers you're born to score goals. I think he was. But what do you lot make of this? The best thing about Gyökeres signing is there's no hiding place for how Arteta uses his strikers historically. What do you lot make of that, folks? That was a follow-up tweet. Where's the actual one? There's no such thing as an Arteta striker. He's had all sorts of architects, and the same issue so far. He has to make it work for Gyökeres and no excuses. And there was actually a follow-up tweet where, like, obviously it's a bit out of context, but like they were showing the Aubameyang numbers. Yeah, this. When you look at Aubameyang's Arsenal career and what this means for strikers, people, bro, if it comes off his bollocks, his ear, anything, bro, like, bro, I don't care, bro. Like, just score, bro. Gyökeres, you're allowed to think Gyökeres is shit, but at the end of the day, he plays for Arsenal Football Club. Many would say Kai shit. Many would say Gyökeres is shit. People say Marino is shit, and he's not a long-term option. People would lie to you, but they said the same about Jesus. So if you got 4 shit strikers, you're not signing one in January. You have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. Worse, a player is bagged. But yeah, looking at Aubameyang, and I do think some people that want to attack Gyökeres, they just want to have sex with Kai Havertz. If I'm honest with you, they're both me. They're all meaty. You're all squad players and spare parts until you show different in it. And you're all part of what we need to achieve. But what do you not make of this, though, people? 17, 18. Well, to be fair, you can see it in front. It's just dropped. Interesting. And then you look at some of these things, not you. We don't want to see your face, mate, respectfully. Touches, possession loss. Gyökeres, 42%. He's lost possession 111 times. Touches 264. So he's getting on the ball a lot more than a lot of people. But then again, it doesn't mean much, people. You're going to lose the ball. I want to see my strikers up there for big chances, miss, and all of that. It's an averages game, but it kind of puts into perspective what we've got. And this is it for me. Every statistic, major statistic, the key statistics, it reflects that, bro. This is the. Can you not see the cursor? This is where you need Gyökeres, because a part of me, as I said, Gyökeres, you need to be a bit more demanding in it. Like, I think you're being too nice. A part of me wants to see my striker obviously score goals, yeah, but a part of me also wants to see you, even if it goes roll Z and it ends up in Finsbury Park just banging off shots. Also, the one thing that will make me really give up on Gyökeres is because if we remove Gyökeres, we all know we don't create enough chances. If we're creating a bag of chance, like if he had that, what year was it? The Kai, like there was like every week Kai Havertz is missing tap-ins. I remember Liverpool in the FA Cup. If he's going through that, now I'm in issues, because now I can say, you know what, Arteta, we're creating a bag of chances. He's meant to be the bagsman. He's missing. Find the receipt, or this, you know what? He's our squad striker now. Don't know what happens to Kai Marino. Bring in a bad boy. Go find the next Gyökeres. But all the key statistics, bro, that's the only area that he's really alive, bro. He works back to go outside the edge of the area. That's his thing. We know he pulls out to the left-hand side. He's up there for that. That's where we need Donny. So I'm not even on to him about all of that. I expect to see Marie. And there's all different contexts. How many minutes have these guys played? When did they come off the bench and play? Who was the opposition? I expect Gabriel Jesus to lose possession less than you. If I'm honest with you, he's technically more secure. All I care about is you backing, bro. Simple as that. And then, you know what? Maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel, because when you look at us this season, most expected goals, positional attacks, most touches in the box, fewest goals conceded, fewest SWAT against, highest defensive duels. So let's just take the attacking statistics here and say, let's go ask AI something, people. Does this show Arsenal's attacking issues are overrated? Go on, AI, tell us something, man, about this. Who wants to dance, bro? There's too much foreplay, bro. Need to start penetrating. Yes, these stats strongly suggest that Arsenal's attacking issues are indeed overrated. So it shows, we won't read all of this, but it shows it can be fixed. Most expected goals, we lead for non-penalty XG. Again, not bad for set piece FC. Most positional attacks, whatever that means. Most touches in the hot box. But again, if we're getting into the final third, either Arteta has to tweak something, or that's on the players then, because I do agree with Pep Guardiola and Wenger's school of thought in that a manager's job is to get you in the final third. The players have to figure it out, people. Giroud's insisted Gyökeres possesses all the necessary attributes for a top striker to succeed at Arsenal. Unpopular opinion, Giroud would thrive more than Gyökeres. You might not get as many goals if Gyökeres is firing, but Giroud's link-up play, all that stuff was a lot better. I think he can improve, but he has everything a top striker needs to be at the top level. I hope so, my boy. Mikel Arteta stated Gyökeres was performing well before his injury and urged people to leave him alone because the sample size of his play is very small. Before the injury, he was in a great place. It took him a while at the beginning because it's a different league with different demands. He had no preseason. Now he's starting to get some momentum, but that's the thing that's going to unlock him, his goals. The sample is very small, so leave him alone. Let him do what he does best. Be behind him, and I'm sure things will turn out in the right way. For you, they need to. I think the two things have to emerge. I think we have to put the player in the best possible condition to explode and fulfill his potential. Have we done that for Gyökeres? And then there are certain things that within the role, in the manner that we play, has to be fulfilled. And that's a combination of both. It's not only that, I think more importantly is the connections and the players around him at the end. So again, work on that in training. Those interactions, that understanding, how it develops. And before the injury, I think he was in a great place. I think it took him a while at the beginning because a different league, different demands. He had no preseason. And now he started to get momentum. The goals will come. We're going to be very pleased with him. Okay, I hope so, Gaffer. Because I know if you don't have a supply line, then you can't the nitties won't crack in it. Like you've got to supply him that fewest touches against Wolves, completed the fewest passes. Again, he's a limited service reliant striker. We've now recorded 100 injuries since the start of 2024-25 season. Madness, innit? Madness. Apparently, Juventus had an opportunity to move on from Jonathan David, but opted against it, according to Tato Mercato Web. Arsenal offered a swap deal involving Gabriel Jesus for the Canadian forward. While Juventus considered the proposal, they ultimately rejected it, choosing to maintain their current setup. You know what? This journalist is hella creative because Jesus is always going to be linked with moves away. We were linked with Jonathan David before he went to Juventus. I don't buy that one bit. Arsenal is viewed as a strong candidate to sign Ayoub Bouardi in the summer of 2026. Despite the contract renewal with Lille, it is expected the player will remain available on the transfer market in the summer, with Chelsea and PSG also interested. Arsenal is completely content with its current midfield roster. Any future additions to the midfield would likely involve a young player for development who would initially join either the 23s or the 21 team people. Arsenal is targeting two promising AC Milan players, Barzaghi, who is a fullback, and his teammate Lorenzo Tarani, who we saw playing goal against us. Arsenal is closely admiring and following Barzaghi, potentially planning an offer next summer. The club is also monitoring goalkeeper Tarani, having already made serious inquiries about him. I don't believe that. AC Milan are still being linked with Gabriel Jesus, if you do believe that. Kai and Gabriel Magalhaes are both progressing well in their recoveries and are pushing to return to action before the end of 2025. Getting quite close. They've been telling us the Kai Havertz one for time. I don't believe it. Those periods will provide a significant boost during the busy festive period. We definitely hope so. Most injuries by Arsenal players since the start of last season. Ben White's had 9. Declan Rice has had 8. Calafiori's had 8. Saka's had 7. Timber's had 7. Magalhaes has had 6. Kai's had 5. Trossard's had 5. And William Saliba has also had 5. Is Arsenal's Mini-Wobble anything to worry about? Well, this was for me to read, but yeah, what's this? Pressures. I can't lie. The only statistic I care about is keeping balls at the back of the net and putting balls in the back of theirs, man. But yeah, man, it is what it is in that regard. So yeah, 100 different setbacks since 2024-25. Crazy, that lad. Would any of you have Thiago Silva? Because he decided to leave Fluminense, especially with the current backdrop. Short-term deal to the end of the year. I don't know if he would ever do that. Apparently, Arsenal are currently evaluating the possibility of selling Gabriel Martinelli and are prepared to intensify their pursuit of targets such as Anton Semenyo, Kenan Yildiz, Arda Güler, and Rafa Leao should the forward depart. Oh, this article's gone for the jugular. Clubs including Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and El Nassr have previously expressed interest in Martinelli and could renew their efforts in 2026. Arsenal are seeking a transfer fee in the region of 60 to 70 million. If Berta specifically could do that, Mazza, absolutely a Mazza, people. If we ever could do that, I don't believe that. Nothing of note there, people. Zubamendi's workloads being managed. Arsenal have been linked with a move for Real Madrid defender Victor Valentin Panas. We've been linked with him before. He's made his debut at Real Madrid under Xabi Alonso. People are clearly not going to go for him anytime soon. He's being linked with Dortmund as well. Arsenal are not the only club said to be after him. Madrid, though potentially open to offers, are keen to keep the teenager at the club beyond this season. A natural centre-half, the versatile Valpanas was deployed at left-back against Alvarez with injuries and suspensions, handing the academy graduate an opportunity to impress. His versatility will appeal to Arteta, who likes defenders to be able to play across the back line. We all know White, Hincapié, Timber, Calafiori, I guess you could expand that to. Technically, Benjamin White could do that as well. He's considered mature beyond his years due to his physicality, and he models his game on teammates Rudiger and Valverde. He's a Spanish under-19s international who's also quick across the ground. Apparently, he made a mistake against Alvarez, but drew praise, I guess, from his manager. We conceded on the only occasion that Valpandas made a mistake, because in all others he was very accurate and played very well. As I said before, Valpandas made his debut. I congratulated from here, not only for his debut, for the match he played. He competed and was very steady. Fair enough. Fair enough, people. So yeah, and this article is going to step further and said we're actually looking at signing Thiago Silva. I don't think any of us believe that, but short-term deal, I wouldn't be against it. What's this? Arteta's been told to sign Bruno Fernandes. Come off my internet, man. Slow news day, man, so we won't bother with that. Finally, what else have we got here? We're still being linked with Nathaniel Brown as well. So again, it's the same names being regurgitated. And to be honest, big up our women, because we looks like we're going to be playing Chelsea in the Champions League. Defending champions Arsenal will set up an all-English quarterfinal against Chelsea in the Women's Champions League if they beat Belgium side Leuven in the playoffs. The Women's Super League champions Chelsea secured automatic qualification. So yeah, we know who we're playing, people. Some interesting games. Atletico Madrid, Man United. We're going to win it again, man. Come on, ladies. Bring that home, man. They say we ain't got European silverware. We're the current Champions League holders. We're lit. The story of Arteta 6 years ever. Listen, big up Arteta for that, but I don't care about that. I'll be so honest. Like, I'll be so honest. I don't give a monkeys about that, but nonetheless, man. You think Gyökeres is a squad player for now? To me, this makes no one's. Joe ones? He offers nothing substantial to us selling the summer. You're not going to sell him next summer. You're not going to get anything for him, really. Nothing close to the 60 odd. He's a squad player. Kai's a squad player. Kai's a squad player. Marino's a squad player. Jesus is a squad player. Odegaard probably should be a squad player. Trossard, Martinelli are squad players. Unless your name is Declan Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber, Raya, I might have missed out someone. You are a squad player. Like it or not, Gyökeres is here, mate. Until you show you have to be a squad player, because you're not the number one striker at this moment. Me, I'm on starting Gyökeres regardless. Obviously, there might be 3, 4, 5 games, Marino or Havertz. Gyökeres would be my number one, but you're not better than, like, you're all in the same bracket, which for me as a fan, you got 4 men that can play up front. No one's number one. And I'm still looking at it. Saka's the only attacker I pin all my hopes on. Big up Trossard for going through a great moment of form. Gonna have to make it work, man. Fergie had to tell the likes of Scholes, Carrick, Rooney, Kagawa, and Giggs. Man said get Kagawa, to actually pass to Van Persie. I hear it. In the meantime, no one is talking about Isaac. I can't lie, man. Anyone offering anything beyond Gyökeres talks? Because we've been talking about Gyökeres too much now, man. Let's talk about the backline. We are seriously missing Gabriel. There's no voice in the backline, no communication. Saliba is a senior player and he needs to talk like it. I hear it, man. But play Havertz as a striker and play Havertz as a centre forward and Gyökeres as an ST, or Gyökeres as a centre forward and Havertz as an ST. Is age a factor to adapt your playing style while coming from a successful season sporting? Very few players adapt playing style. I think the playing style thing's exaggerated. Create some chances, the guy will bag that. But we have to commit to it. We know his average is he's average at all the other. He can do it. It's like 5 out of 10 at all the other stuff Arteta wants. He's an exceptional goal scorer, so you have to facilitate, and your players have to find it. I can't lie, man. 4:30, I'm live with Jess. You lot answer her Gyökeres questions, man. Allow me now, man. Gyökeres chat is boring now. It's absolutely boring. I think for the last 3 days I've been waffling about it. At least give me until after Everton or during the Everton game to discuss, man. I'm tired of the Gyökeres chat now. It's boring, man. Well, I think he's good, or you think he's good, or you think he's shit. It's dead now, man. It's boring now, man. It's boring, man. I'm taking Camavinga tomorrow, mate. Fans gas up Saka too much. He's been poor. He's been poor by his own standards, but he's been saving us. Gyökeres versus the world. We all wanted to succeed. Allow me, man. I'm not on the Gyökeres thing no more. DJ, I need to call you out. Sometimes you fall for brand names. Last season, you said Camavinga and Valverde are better than Declan. I technically didn't say that. I said that Declan Rice doesn't get in a combined Real Madrid 11. Yeah, and I'm right. I hold that. D and Hooks have killed me for that. That was my clanger. It is where it is. I still think Valverde's better than Declan Rice. I can't lie to you lot. But Rice is mustard. He plays for Arsenal Football Club. Let's not act like it wasn't a crazy shout. Sadiq, you've fallen. You know how many L's you've had, and I've let them slide. Now I'm onto you. You don't want people shouting on a football pitch. And as for the chat agreeing with me, don't agree with no one blindlessly. I hold that. Obviously, Rice went and scored 2 free kicks, which is great. But if you isolate them as a player, Camavinga can do way more than Declan Rice. He ain't got the clutch thing like him. I don't know if you would shine at Arsenal like him, but you can do more things. Valverde's technically sounder than Rice will ever be, but he's our Declan Rice. As for people agreeing with me, I can't be held accountable for them. And if, you know what, I'll have that. In 9 years, I've probably had 4 dead shouts. I'll have that. I'm doing all right, mate. I'm inviting you to the platform next time. What was that? DG, you and others overrate Real Madrid players. How? Because when I'm saying Rodrigo's not going to be lit like that, what? I said 2 players. What more do you want? How's that gassing up things? Sorry, we're not all football oracles like you. Wow. Anyways, DG, will the back 4 be fit for Everton? Who's fit? I wish I could call out. I wish I could grab my phone and call Mikel Arteta, and he'd probably even lie to me now. I'm assuming Calafiori, Timber, Hincapié, and Saliba in it, and obviously Raya. Raya, you don't get any ideas because I think we've all forgotten Kepa's at this football club. You know, you can say that, but you've probably listen. What's it they say in the religious books? If you got a glass house, don't be throwing stones. We've all dropped claggers. We've all got it wrong. Who am I? Arsene Wenger's had many a mad shout. Big Sir Alex Ferguson, because someone mentioned him, said Phil Jones would be the most important footballer in United's history. If them man there can have that, I'll have mine, mate. So yeah. But don't take it too far about overrate Real Madrid players, because who's been sitting there and talking about Real Madrid players? I rate Camavinga. I rate Valverde. I'm quite fond of Tchouaméni. How is that rating over? You acting like I'm sitting here, Real Madrid this, blah, blah, blah. Don't overdo it now. That's where my problem now becomes. Of course, look at our defense. What does that mean? I'm taking Camavinga tomorrow, but we all know Arteta will be playing Donny left back. Has Gyökeres played to the level he played against us in the UCL last season? Has he looked that good in an Arsenal shirt yet? He didn't score and still look better than he looked versus us. Boy. Anything other than your... Trust me, boy. Rice is our guy, so who cares? Who are you signing for left wing? And who would you sell out of Trossard and Martinelli? You could say Trossard because he's older. Martinelli might fetch a better fee, which I don't necessarily agree. Probably say Trossard if I'm honest, but then if Trossard maintains this and, you know, if he was to do this 2 years in a row, he's more important than Martinelli'd ever be. Left wing, I don't think anyone screams out at me, you know, like I like Semenyo. I like Rafael, what he could become, not just left wing, but potentially other roles. I don't feel there's a convincing candidate, if I'm honest. In football, centre forwards are like unemployed women. If not provided with food at home by a husband, won't cook anything. That was crazy. Great managers win, period. The talk should be what manager are we pushing if Arteta doesn't get the title in May. For me, you can have that conversation. My honest opinion is Arteta's not getting sacked if you don't win silverware. I'm not saying that's right. I'm not even saying that's wrong. Well, there was a time I thought we might actually sign Wonder Kid, Camavinga and Gavin Burks. Was dreaming. Reality didn't turn out so bad. Trust, they have good players. I don't know what man Donny wants, man, but fair enough. But I don't know what. Do you know how random that was? Who's got under Sadiq skin today, mate? So yeah, and I'll be honest, I don't even care about Isaac. Like, you don't play for all. Like, if Isaac's a success, great. If he's a flop, dead. I just want to win silverware. I'm only concerned with what's going on at this football club. But with that being said, though, I have to praise you lot because time always flies. How have we been there for an hour and 30 minutes? I want to give you lot time to rest and recover. 4:30, I'm gonna have Jessica Black. She knows Arsenal. We'll talk about Gyökeres, no doubt. And you lot come with your questions, man. It'd be nice for me to just shut up. I don't want to really. I just want the Everton game to come so there's more talking points now, if I'm brutally honest with you. It's boring talking about the same things. But on that note, big up you lot every time. Smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe and all those good things. And Gyökeres, man, you need to make things happen. I know someone that does.
You got to be demanding. Give me the ball.